Hello YouTube, today at powerjackrepair.org we got a Sager Clevo company p970rf, and the problem is probably a power connector on the laptop. Let's take it apart and replace the power connector. Charging port, power jack, power connector. Screws were in the wrong places, seemed like. Or maybe they're all the same, okay. But somebody did work on the laptop before. The keyboard fell off for some reason. Alright, so the keyboard, we probably have to pry it up right here. You wanna disconnect it right here, like that right here. Good job. Looks good? Looks good. So somebody unscrewed the screws here, screws there, here and here. We don't have the screws here. So let's see if we can lift up the... There might be some screws underneath here, maybe, maybe not. The jack is right here. Let's disconnect the battery from the laptop right here. And do I really want to remove the... Yeah, let's remove it. Alrighty. Alright, so I seen those kind of laptops before. This is a bit more over-engineered than necessary. have a hard time getting this connector out without damaging anything. Okay, like that. Oh, come on. All right, let's see what we can do here. Because it seems like a lot of stuff is connected, but go figure how it's connected. I'm wondering if I can take this whole thing apart without removing the heatsink, which it seems like I'm not capable of doing so because something is holding it down someplace. And that something is probably someplace under the motherboard. Yeah, oh well. Hold on, let's see. Maybe here someplace something holding it down. Well, it's removable. The only problem is I still have the connector under the heatsink. So that's really nothing that's gonna help me here. All right, let's unscrew the heatsink. Let's take a look what we can do here in regards to the heatsink. Probably need to disconnect the fans first. All right, want to disconnect this guy as well. Okay. Right, so make sure all of the pads are remaining on the heatsink. The pad layout is like that. If your pads got messed up, you can just copy it from here. Let's bring this guy over here. Let's flip this guy over. Let's disconnect the motherboard cable. All right. And now we have an access to the connector here, which could be faulty, could be not. Go figure. There is no way to say to know unless we take this guy off the motherboard. I want to clean up the CPU and GPU thermal paste. Alright, I cleaned up the GPU and CPU. The goal here is to inspect the motherboard and see what kind of insulation, what's going on here. Did somebody already take it apart? There should be a component here, a tree-like component right there. Where is it at? Should be like that one. But right here, and it's not here. So usually the connector breaks right there in the middle. Anyways, let me pack it all up with the Kapton tape. The link for the Kapton tape could be found below. You could get it on Amazon. That's exactly the same tape that we use. It's all made in China anyway. I'm sure there are some better Kapton tapes out there, but this one do the work just fine. Alright, so the reason I insulate everything around the connector, so that I wouldn't have to resolder anything that flies off the motherboard when I'm applying the heat here. Now you want to insulate the connector nearby because it will get too much heat, I can guarantee you that. So here like that. Let's do the rear too. I mean, even though there is no components here on the top side, on this side, I still put a whole bunch of tape on that because when we're gonna be applying the heat from the bottom, right here, I don't want the board heat up in those places, so the components will start falling off of the motherboard on the other side. So that's what usually happens. So that's the reason I want to do a couple layers here, so that the board won't heat up as much on behind the connector on this side. All right, so the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some flux, add some leaded base solder. The leaded base solder gonna mix with the unleaded base solder. The melting temperature gonna drop, and this connector just gonna come right off the motherboard. Let me show you how to do that. Alright, so what we're doing here is we're gonna add some flux to the nearby components. Alright. Alright. And now we're just gonna add some leaded base solder here. Right there. And right here. And right there. Now it should just easily come off the motherboard. Like that. Just give me 1 second. Like that. Alright, you see that's where it was broken. Right here. Let's warm it up right here. Come on. Come right out. The broken part. Any day now. Okay. All right, what I'm gonna do now is gonna keep the heat on the board and remove all of the leaded base solder and unleaded base solder from the joints. All right, like that. Let's see. All right, I think I need to increase the airflow. Alrighty. All right, looks good. No, it doesn't look good. It didn't get that desoldered through. What I needed to be is I needed to be desoldered all the way through, but instead it had some solder left over inside of that pad. All right, so let's try one more time. Bring the hot air station in. Like that. Alrighty, excellent. Now it looks good to me. Let me just double check to make sure it's all I just want to make sure that every single hole is nice and clean. Let's shut down the hot air. Let's remove all of the well, not everything is nice and clean. Hold on. Oh, okay. It was just some extra debris there. Okay. Let's take a look what we can do to this guy. The pad on the top seems to be slightly damaged, so I just will try to recover it the best I can. Like that. And let's see. Okay, so now the pad looks excellent to me. All right, let me go find exactly the same connector. And we're gonna be golden. It's like that. And it goes out a little bit, okay. All right, found exactly the same replacement connector. Like that, like that, like that. You see this pin right there, which came out right here, that's what breaks inside. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the new connector instead of the old one. Now, the obvious question people ask all the time, can you just fix that old one? I can't. I mean, it's easier for me just to put the new one in and sleep well at night knowing that I won't see this laptop here for the next few years until the client breaks the connector one more time. All right, so here. That I put some flux on. I'm putting some solder right here. And all of this garbage. Oops. All right. Okay. Let's get right here. And looks excellent right there. Okay. All right, let's solder the rear pin as well while we're here. The rear pin is well soldered. And now the only thing left to do is to solder the bottom side. You want to do. All right, flux everywhere. And now let's solder the bottom side. Alrighty. And okay. And looks good. All right, excellent. Okay. Right, so let's inspect it under the microscope. Some debris in the back right there. And let's see. And this side is good. I just need to clean it up a little bit more with a brush. Let's do it right now. Oh, yeah, you see everything comes off just fine, even without the brush. All right. Okay. That's just flux. Nothing special here. Let's brush off the remains. All right, looks good. Let's clean this guy up. Excellent. You see, better than factory for sure. Everything's gonna be holding up just fine here. Let's see the other side. Oh, I don't really like the way how that negative is soldered right there. It didn't. You see, if you're looking at this side, we can't really see it, but on this side you can see that the rear isn't exactly penetrating the top side. Let's make sure it's gonna penetrate the top side. Alrighty, I just added some solder to the top side, and it all looks amazing to me. So just need to clean up a little bit more here on the top side, and we're good to go. And you see no components are being closed in transition. Yeah, excellent. All right, and we are back. Let's see if we can check and see if the all right, positive is fine and negative is fine. Good job. Let's take a look. Yeah, so guys, if you found the video useful, I would consider it, please consider leaving a like. Subscribe, I will let you know which laptop models I would buy and which ones I wouldn't. And let's try and assemble this whole thing back the way it should be. The reason I say try, because there are so many wires here. Nothing I haven't seen before, but still. Like that. Like that. And like that. Okay. Okay, looks good to me. Everything looks good to me, except nothing looks really good to me, because what I want to do is I want to insulate that rear pin. I'm afraid that it's sitting right on top of this metal part right there, and if it's touching it, it might be shorting the component in the future. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Alright, good job. Like that. Like that. And like that. Like that. Okay. So here we need to bring this wire out of there. Like that. Like that. Right, so here we got a silver screw here, big fat silver screw right there. And here's another silver color screw right here. We got two screws that are pink and black in color, going in right here. Another one going in right there. Okay, and another black screw gonna go right here. Good job, excellent. Now let's see if we can connect this guy. All right, let's connect this guy. Just removing extra dust. That's on the heatsink, on the fans. Remember, there has been some sort of secret here. I can't connect this guy right away because there seems to be something else that needs to be done here. And this thing was probably also had some sort of secret with it. Something like that, I guess. If we can do something about this guy. Get one more part here. Have a black screw right there. Okay. Excellent. I want to flip it over, see if I could connect anything on the top side. And on the top side, this cable is connected, that cable is connected. I want to see if we can connect this guy here. If we can connect that guy right there. Like that. Okay, we'll fit. Let's close it down. Okay, I think this looks like it belongs right here. I might be wrong, but it looks like this should be here someplace like that. Right? Maybe? And the tape should be on top of this cable here. Right? Okay, looks good. Now let me clean up the paste here and there. Okay. Let's see how this thing gonna be going through here. Over right up. Like that. Right. Going like that. And are we good? All right, we're good. We're dropping this guy like that. Okay. Excellent. Now let's screw everything down. I'm not over torquing anything, it's just finger tight. Okay. So here let's put this cable through here. Okay, like that. Like that. Okay, excellent. Okay. Good job. Excellent. I mean, that was the smoothest repair ever. The only way how it's gonna spoil is if it's not gonna work for some reason. But it should, because I mean I did everything, so don't over torque the screws, just like make sure they are kind of finger tight. Here, let's put more tape here as well. All right, good job. All right, let's connect the keyboard and keyboard. Well, before we're gonna connect it, I wanna find the well, there is no screws going from here to the bottom. Okay, so my understanding, well, hold on one second. Maybe the bottom cover goes in first, right? Yeah, the bottom cover goes in first. So I have to connect this guy. Oh, you know what? There's no SSD here anywhere, meaning the client removed the SSD from the laptop prior to shipping, and HDD maybe. All right, so my assumption is the client has all of the screws for the top. So I'm not gonna, because again, there is no hard drives anywhere here. Let's bring the top down. All right, the whole aligns perfectly fine. And don't forget the 1, 2, 3, 4 screws here. And we got the, you know what, I don't like to connect the battery before I'm gonna connect the cables, but it's such a bad design. So here we're gonna do this. We're gonna connect that. And then we're gonna connect this from the other side. I believe. Like that. Like that, like that, and like that. Good job. Close that. And close that. And close that. Excellent. Now let's close down all of the screws here. The torque is set to the lowest setting. It's not even finger tight, it just alright. Alright. So we're gonna screw down the bottom cover all the way around. Again, it's not I'm not over torquing anything here. Okay. Alright. Excellent. Looks good to me. Now, if it's not gonna work, I will be extremely disappointed with my abilities. Let's find the power supply. Power supply in. Ooh. The inside of the plug doesn't look that great. I don't see the metal inside, but anyways, let's double check that the power supply outputs the proper voltage, just in case. Let's see how far in we have to plug it in. Well, you see, I don't like when the plug looks crooked like that, and you have to plug it in pretty far in to get the contact. You see, I'm putting this probe like up to the head, still nothing. Only when we press it all the way in, we get the contact. Well, anyways, let's see. All right, I don't even think this is even from this laptop. Okay, so we do get lights right there, plugged in and charging. Okay, and my guess, we can just power this guy up and get the anything spinning. No, well, we get the keyboard in different colors, shapes and forms. Again, guys, if the video was in any way helpful, you can also send us the laptop. We can replace that connector for you, or you could send us just the motherboard. We can replace the motherboard for you. Again, we get the lights on the keyboard, but we're not getting anything on the screen yet. All right, let's bring this guy over like that. Like that. We're still getting the battery being charged. This guy is going through the restarting process. Maybe because the CMOS battery was disconnected. This is some plastic part from the casing that fell off. Anyways, come on. Well, let me, I guess, pause the video and I'll get back to you once this whole thing gonna power up. All right, yeah, it's because I removed the memory stick to see right there. Yeah, so all right, okay, and now we get Sager. And insert boot, default boot device missing. The reason default boot device missing is because we don't have the hard drive inside. You press OK, and here we get into the i7 9009 generation CPU. Anyways, let's get out of this thing. Can we get out of this thing? Continue maybe. Okay, so no bootable device found. Please restart the system. Obviously, because the hard drive is not there. Anyway, so I just want to show you that the laptop is fixable. We replaced the jack. It's all going to be working just fine. I'm shutting it down. The battery is obviously being charged. All right, shutting it down. Close the screen. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. Thanks.